part of me. Yes, I've got you under my skin. I've tried so not to give in.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back to the podcast. No guest this week, and it's been a really interesting week, I'd say. So, here in California, this July, it seems like we are backsliding into this pandemic again, which is disappointing, frustrating, annoying. Just really frustrating. Like, doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense to me that we're still doing this. Let me explain. If we continue down this path of, for some reason, just not talking about things in reality, at least the one that I think is real, where, you know, there's actually a really bad virus and we actually have a really good vaccine against it and this could all be prevented. If that's not real, well, first of all, kudos to the new world order that has figured out how to corrupt, you know, our basic knowledge of virology and science and all that stuff. You know, they did a great job, if that's not true. But in a world where that's true, it's so strange that we continue to act like it's not true and allow that narrative to even be around, to talk about it like it's freedom or something is just so dumb. I mean, I kind of get the idea that, you know, no one should force you to have a medical procedure, which is kind of the way they talk about it. But it's like, well, it's not actually a medical procedure. It's a vaccine. And I don't know, it's just very strange. It's very strange that we still have to learn every lesson with firsthand knowledge, right? So I'm sure you've seen these stories of people recently where they're in the hospital, they're, you know, really sick with COVID, and now they're saying, oh, can you give me the vaccine? And, you know, doctors are kind of saying, well, you kind of too late, you know? It's just really interesting. And it all comes down to communication and and the way things have been discussed. And I feel like the level of discourse isn't where it needs to be. And the reason that this came up today, I was talking to my friend, and we were saying, you know, like, this is going to probably have to disrupt school again. And if you're a parent with kids in school, man, this will be the third year in a row, potentially, that their education is disrupted, interrupted, disrupted, different, not quite what it was. And, you know, collectively, there's going to be a whole generation that's going through this. And I was saying, man, it'd be nice if we could use this opportunity, knowing that they're all going to be behind or whatever in the grand scheme compared to our schedule pre-COVID, pre-pandemic. They're all going to be behind at basically the same pace. Will we take it as an opportunity to rethink the way we teach our kids? Probably not, but we're stuck trying to do the best we can with them, you know. And if you have kids that are little, that are like grade school kids, you know, elementary school, well, they kind of need the basics, right? And what are the basics? Well, basic math would be good. That'll arm you for life for some things. But learning to learn and critical thinking skills, you know, not memorizing stories about those things, but really knowing what they mean, applied to anything. That's like the bare minimum that we need to make sure that every kid knows, every person that will have a say in how the world works as we, progress forward. And, a new generation sort of takes over the reins from the current generation. By the way, a current generation that lived, probably 50 years of most of their lives, or 40 or 50 years without the internet. So, who knows if they had all the right information? Probably not. I'm not saying people are smarter because they have the internet. I'm saying that answers are available. You don't need a textbook. You don't need an interpreter. The answers are available. So to spend time teaching things like that, memorizing things like that, aren't as important as learning to learn, learning to, in this day and age, look something up and then maybe not just believe it because somebody wrote it down, but like dig into it a little bit, go a few layers deep, see if it's actually true before you make rules about it, before you ask other people to do it. Critical thinking is really important. So as we head into this next wave, whatever this is going to be, it's very frustrating to have to wait and watch for people that didn't need to be sick get sick, all for just no reason, no good reason that I can really wrap my head around. I mean, if you want to say, okay, well, and I know this isn't true because I know how this works, but let's say you want to talk about that these things were rushed. Have you dug into that? Do you know how long mRNA vaccines have been tested in humans? It's not just since the pandemic, We're lucky that it worked on this, kind of, is basically where we should be thinking. We're lucky that this technology actually worked so effectively. And, you just got to wonder, like, what is it going to take for people to realize some things are just true? But yeah, it seems like what used to be kind of fun conspiracy theories that were really fringy have become a plausible narrative now. It's not just, a joke or a conspiracy theory that is like deeply believed, but there's no way it's true, that really doesn't matter, is just fodder. It's just fun. Like, if somebody wants to believe the earth is flat, then go for it. Like, I don't think that's true, but it doesn't really hurt me if you believe that. Like, nobody wins or loses. But if you don't believe that there's actually a virus, and if you don't believe that there's a vaccine that can mostly knock it out, I don't know what to do. And if I am wrong, if we are being manipulated, if this is a big takeover, if this is a big attempt to control and bring in a new world order and all of these crazy conspiracies, if all that's true, and if the vaccine is just going to like wipe out everybody that got it, it'd be a tragedy. But I feel like I would rather, in a zombie apocalypse, I think I would rather be on the zombie team. I think it'd be really tough to try to make it through that. I don't know. Story for another day, I guess. But I don't know. Just really frustrating. I'm really disappointed. And I think that's where I've been for a while, is coming to the reality that, it's a shame when you have the technology to communicate effectively, when you have the right information that can move quicker, when you have the science, and you still kind of mess it up. It's frustrating to watch. It's frustrating to watch how our country kind of bungled this from the get-go, the way it was communicated, the way it was discussed, the way it was handled. It's frustrating. I kind of thought we would do better. You grow up thinking, if we're the, in quotes, best country in the world, and we have the most technology and we're the smartest and all this stuff. Well, what an opportunity to prove that by being the only country that doesn't, suffer horribly from this thing and then helps distribute the vaccine to the world. And it was an opportunity to like kind of prove and unite together and be like, let's really get behind this thing. And we just really failed miserably. And I don't know, I'm trying to avoid news as much as I can because it's just really rough, dude. It's really rough. But I don't know. I literally don't know. So maybe somebody, hit me up in some way to answer me if I'm wrong. But I really don't know if the debate on this is happening everywhere else. I just don't know. And I are there countries where they're debating this? Are there countries where if they had the vaccines, they'd be better off? And, I definitely heard, there are countries who really handled it really well. New Zealand comes to mind, right? And I just haven't checked on them lately, so I don't know if they're doing well or still or not. But it just feels like we didn't handle it like mature adults, like rational adults, like you would have hoped were there to take care of things. In my mind, they're like black and white images of these like no nonsense people that would just be rational and come to the table, treat us all like we're, adults and tell us what's up. And I think we could have united around that, and maybe we'll be able to do that, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I've been watching enough TikTok lately to know that there's a lot of people that don't think that way. And I don't know, it's just interesting. It's interesting and it's scary and it's frustrating, and it was so nice to get out in the world a little bit and start getting back to what we need for our social lives and our interactions with our family members. And man, it felt good to do that and to backslide because people don't literally believe what is actually just, facts. Boy, that's frustrating. Boy, it's frustrating. So yeah, we're going to watch it here and see what happens. And, it's different, isn't it? Who thought we'd live through a pandemic? And then who thought we would actually find the solution to not having a terrible pandemic, and maybe even, at least a solution to shut it down and extinguish it. And we didn't do that either. That's a shame. Because I think if you, and maybe I'm just naive, maybe I trust people too much to think we could have rallied here and done the right thing. It's like that idea, I think it was, I don't remember who said that, it might have been Reagan, that if, you kind of need aliens to show up and then we would unite. I don't know if that's true anymore. I think we might have half people saying, they weren't real, it was just a government plant trying to control us. Because we essentially had an alien invasion. We had an invisible alien invade the planet. We figured out how to defeat it. And some people just didn't even believe it was here. Like, I guess the alien has to visit you in your house directly to have that impact. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Stay safe. I guess stay masked. I think it makes the most sense to get the vaccines. They seem pretty safe to me. They've been in so many people now. I feel like we would see something by now if there was any signal that these were not generally pretty safe. I think we'll learn over time of genetic predispositions that maybe should be wary and work around them. But I think to have this many people vaccinated without really any major concerns is pretty telling. You know, as Tim Ferriss said, there's no biological free lunch. Everything has side effects. So to virtually have no side effects and avoid this disease, that seems pretty good. In what are we up to, 100 million doses, somewhere in that neighborhood? That's a big trial. That's a lot of people. You would definitely see signals. And even the numbers people talk about being in the VAERS database, it's not a lot. And that's self-reported. Anybody can go in and say anything they want in there. It has to be sorted and proven out and dissected and, determined to be dangerous. There's a lot of rigor that goes on in the background, and I just think we need some more rigor and critical thinking, and maybe that'll help us. Maybe the messaging will change. Well, let's hope so. Oh well. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Really appreciate it. Subscribe, rate, all that fun stuff. I got some good guests coming up. We're just summer's weird in that regard, but yeah, gonna have some great people on shortly, and I can't wait to talk to you again soon. Thank you so much, and be well. Later.
I said to myself, this fair ain't never gonna go too well. But why should I try to resist when, baby, I know too well that I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything come what might for the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice that rings in the nights, repeats and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you ain't never gonna win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop just before I begin. Yes, I've got you under my skin. Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. Love never made